Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars dad, Nooch Too Good, and, there's a lot of poo. There's a lot of poo out there that you have to farm to get Galactic Legends. A lot of characters that really have no impact on the game, don't help you elsewhere, don't come into play at all, and I thought today I would give you my top 10 characters, my top 10 worst GL farm poo characters in the game. And I don't have an order here. I'm not going 10 to 1 or whatever, but let's take a look at these 10. And by the way, it is a fertile farming ground here. And we can look at I'm not gonna say this. I'm not gonna say like Darth Sidious here for Sith Eternal. And I think like Darth Maul, I could point out Darth Maul, but he's got a ship now that gets you to Leviathan. Okay. But like Sidious doesn't really have much he's doing for you. Oh, I guess I can't click on it here, can I? Here we go. So here's Darth Sidious. He's got a really cool datacron right now that makes him really cool. Would have been nice to have it as like what is it called? An Omicron, but it's just a datacron for, a couple months. Like 4 or 5 months, but anyway. But other than that, Sidious is really just kind of a useless character. But he's not in my top 10. He's not in my top 10. I don't know. Let's get into it. Let's start with the very first one I've got that on my list. And what you're going to find is we're going to get really heavy on a couple of these farms are very heavy with useless characters. But let's start here. Let's start here with Rey and this one right here, Resistance Pilot. She, and yes, this is a she. There was a one point early in the game where they had Women's Day or something, and Resistance Pilot was on the list. This is a lady. She's useless. I don't even know any other way. At the beginning of the game, we would try to put her in, and we would try to find ways to get exposed, because exposed or Jedi Training Rey was getting, helping the team out. I think it gets you Terminator when exposes expire. Just really knew nothing. And the ship, the Resistance X-Wing, it comes out with the Raddus, if you're using the Raddus, and it puts out a daze, and then it gets Foresight, and whatever. I guess it's an important part of the Raddus lineup, maybe. I don't know. Maybe with the comeuppance, Resistance Pilot will be the most important ship in, super duper. Resistance Pilot is a useless character, but you have to farm her to Relic. I think Relic, where is it? Relic 3 probably, right? Yeah, Relic 3 to get Rey. A lot of you guys have her at Relic 5 because of the bundles there. So, hey, how about this guy? This will be your favorite right now. If I can, I can't click on him because I've already got him. Let's do it this way then. He gets force choked by Darth Vader. Yeah, your favorite and mine, Director Krennic. When he first came out, because he came out with the Rogue One, group of characters, and they put Death Trooper with him, and it looked kind of cool. And I know my pal Dylar, where is the Empire? There we go. My pal Dylar was using him in Squad Arena for a while as a counter to like the Revans or something. It was a ways ago. This guy does nothing. This guy does nothing in game. He only exists as a requirement for Sith Eternal Emperor and nothing else. He is blind. He does. He has choked on his aspirations. You can put him a Death Trooper all you want. You can put the Zetas, you can put the Omicron. Just a poo character. If I ever see a Director Krennic on defense in Grand Arena, boy, do I get excited. It's just, I can throw just about anything I want out there and take care of Director Krennic. No problem. He's just, you have to farm him for Sith Eternal, and then you put him on the shelf. He's going to gather dust back in your closet, back on the back corner of the shelf. You'll never use Director Krennic again. And that's 2. Now, we've got 8 more, and I'm gonna dive right into Leia Organa's kit for this. I'm gonna go to Leia Organa for my next 4. We're gonna look at 4 characters here, and this may be because she just her farm is so fresh, and they haven't had a chance to put these characters out there as useful. But a lot of these characters have been around for a long time, and they're still useless. And some of them have even been reworked, and they're still useless. Lando Calrissian. Complete garbo. I mean, when he first came out, he was so much fun. Like, he has this double down, his AoE, and if the attack scores a more than one critical hit, its cooldown is reset. It deals 100% more damage on its next turn. That's awesome. And then I think his high roller, he gains critical chance. Where is it that he? I thought it had I thought there was a ceiling to it. Like, I think it only stacks like 3 times, even though they don't say it in the description here. Somebody remind me of that. It's been a while, because you don't use Lando for anything in the game. You know, he'll pop up on teams every now and then in Grand Arena or in Territory Wars, and you just know it's an easy kill. He just isn't really going to damage your team or hurt your team or really do anything in any way at all. Again, at the beginning of the game, his stacking damage was really cool. And I think he was the first character who really had stacking damage. But if this kept going and going and going, maybe it could be, maybe eventually after like 5 or 6 turns, he's just like wiping everybody out. But it stopped stacking after a while, to my recollection. But Lando's just a character you really can't use anywhere. He doesn't have any use in the game outside of farming Leia Organa. And then you also need him for Jedi Knight Luke, of course, which means you need him for Jedi Master Luke, you need him for Jabba. It's just so much overlap with Lando there, and he's just such a garbage character. Hey, how about Admiral Akbar? I know, okay, a lot of you guys, by the way, it's really funny. He shoots really fast when you open up his character here, and we tried to see it one time in stream. We couldn't. Watch real quick, it's gonna happen really fast. There it was. He just fires off in the air really fast at the beginning. Why? We don't know. We've never seen Admiral Akbar actually wield a weapon in Star Wars, but maybe he's in Clone Wars somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, I know he's the pilot of the Home One. I know a lot of you guys are using Home One early, middle time, but the Home One just isn't a great fleet, and it gets replaced by Profundity, and Akbar gets put on the shelf, back on the shelf with Lando and Director Krennic. They go back on the shelf, and you throw them in there every now and then for a cleanse. Now, with his Omicron, combined with Leia's Omicron, you guys did see me fail against that by trying a Rey solo, and my Rey solo failed. But I feel like if I had to do over again, if I killed Akbar first, I would have succeeded at that. He's got the Omicron with Leia, provides a lot of turn meter. You can catch somebody off guard from time to time. Is it worth all the extra investment in Omicrons and farming? No. Put that stuff on Traya, put that stuff on Wampa, Savage Press, put it on Starkiller, put it on Darth Maul, put it anywhere but Akbar. It's just kind of an extra that if you've got it, you might find some use for it every now and again. But Akbar is just a character that you can use at the beginning, but has no place in the middle game forward. Once the Home One goes off your radar, once the Home One just becomes a fleet that you throw on defense for kicks and grins, you're not going to relic Akbar on your own except to go get Leia Organa. And so Akbar is one of my 10 worst here. We got 2 more on this roster, and one of them is just I'll come back to that. Let's talk about Lobot. I can't open Lobot because I have Lobot. Let's talk about Lobot. So Lobot even got a rework. Lobot got a rework, and still... And everybody's like, oh, look, Lobot got a rework finally. Maybe they'll give Ugnaught a rework now. Yeah, maybe they will give Ugnaught a rework. And maybe he'll still be as useless as Lobot. Now, you do need Lobot at relic levels for the rote platoons, and that's fine. But as far as his abilities, even with the rework, it seems kind of fun. You can throw on a droid team. He becomes a droid. He's got a nice little cleanse. It just still doesn't do much at all, and you can find other characters to fill that spot easily, and he ends up again back on the back shelf in the closet, not doing anything. Lobot is just kind of garbage. No real home in Galaxy of Heroes, except maybe on a droid team. And like I said, you can find other spots or other characters put on there that do just as well or better than Lobot for your roster. Let's go back in that Leia Organa. I got one more I want to put in there. And it's one of the most disappointing things in the game to me, and it's specifically Rebel Officer Leia Organa. And this character, you know, I'm happy they have a Leia Organa Galactic Legend. I'm really happy about it, and she deserved it. You know, she was really lacking in the game. I'm glad they're going to Queen Amidala. She was lacking in the game. This character's useless. Anytime I see this character in Grand Arena on defense, I start licking my chops, man. I can put Enfys Nest out there without any help and just wipe. I can kill this character and her team with so much stuff. With so much. People put it out there on defense because they think they got I got a relic character now because I went and farmed. You need it for Jedi Knight Luke again. So Jedi Knight Luke, you know, is there for Jabba and for Jedi Master Luke. So you got to have her out there for those. So you farmed her. So people are like, I farmed her. I might as well put her out there on defense in Grand Arena. and you put her out there and she gets smoked every time. She's got these kind of interesting mechanics that look like they'd be maybe a lot of fun. 12 damaging 10 times to random enemy targets. Enemies suffered more than once. I mean, it just doesn't really work. She doesn't do hardly any damage, and nothing out there really makes Leia or Rebel Officer Leia Organa work. I mean, maybe, they put the Son of Staros out there and it's supposed to benefit. I still don't see that being any good at all or really benefiting anybody. So there's 4 characters on that farm alone. Now I'm going to go 4 more characters. 8 of my bottom 10 are on the 2 most recent Galactic Legends, which is not really that surprising. You kind of look at these characters. Again, some of them have been around forever. Characters like Lobot, Lando, Rebel Officer Leia Organa. They've been around since the very beginning of the game. And they still, and Akbar. Yeah, Akbar too. All 4 of those characters have been around since the beginning of the game. And all 4 of them are equally useless. And you'd think they would be a home by now where they could be an effective team. They're just not. Well, there's more here. There's more here on Jabba's farm, Gamorrean Guard. What a pile of trash this guy is. And I know he's not really overpowering in the movies or anything. You don't really look for him, for Gamorrean Guard to be something special in game. But, man, I mean, for a tank, and they want, he's required for Jabba. There's just nothing you can do with this guy. He doesn't do anything. He's a scoundrel. He's a Hutt cartel. He's a tank. He's a dark side. He's probably the largest pile of poo in the game. He's a very thick boy and a very thick pile of poo. Gamorrean Guard isn't doing anybody any good in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Yeah, but you had to farm him for Jabba, so add him to the list of the top 10 piles of poo that you have to farm for Galactic Legends. Greedo did not shoot first. George Lucas, you got it all wrong. Nobody knows why you did that. And nobody knows why he's been in the game since the very beginning of the game and is still such a garbage character. He was the first, I think he was the first character that threw, I think he was the first character to have thermal detonators on on anybody but all enemies. Just doesn't do anything. He's got this fun little meme mechanic with who shot first, where if he keeps critting, he's got a 70% chance gain potency up when he... Well, it's not here. Where is it? It's this one. It's this one. Whenever a Greedo attacks again whenever he scores a critical hit. No cap. I always laugh when I read that, because that was written back in 2015. I don't think they anticipated what that would actually mean in 2022-ish. It's a 50% chance to attack again whenever it scores a critical hit. Okay, so it's kind of fun. So he hits once, he hits and he lands his 50%, boom, hits again, lands that 50%, boom, hits again. So you can keep attacking over. I played with this for a while, I really did. I put like max crit chance on him. I think the biggest I ever got was 10, 11, 12 in a row, something like that. And that has to be, your odds every time are 50%, but your implied odds just keep adding up. So the first time it's 50%, second time 25%, 12.5%, 6 and an 8%, 3 point whatever percent, 1.5, 0.75, 0.375, 1.8%, 0.09%, 0.045%. It just keeps going down and down and down. And again, it's 50% every time, but it's the same as flipping a coin over and over and over again. You're only going to flip heads so many times, right? Or putting all your money on red, you only hit red so many times. Maybe you can do the math there and tell me when it really starts to pay off. I know there's a point when you play roulette that if you just go all red over and over and you keep putting all the money back on red over and over and over again, that there's a point in the, I don't know if it's 10, 11, 12 times in a row, that when you hit that, it actually balances out the rest of it and makes it, you have to have a bunch of money to invest to get there, but don't go play roulette based on what I just said. I'm not the guy. I'm not that guy. Hey, there's 2 more piles of poo here, by the way. And there's actually more piles of poo that I'm going to point out. But let's go with Urur. There's now a 3 Tusken team, a Tusken team out there for 3v3 that's got a nice Omicron that provides a lot of challenges. Urur doesn't go on that team, so I don't know what Urur is doing for anybody in any. And by the way, support leader Tusken. I mean, maybe you put Urur into Conquest, you get that support discs, and he's doing a ton of. I don't know, but Tuskens are pretty much, aside from 3v3, a forgotten faction that don't do anybody any good. And Urur has no place in the game He's not on that 3v3 team, so just doesn't fit. I mean, we get it. We get it. But you suck. You suck. You're poo. A final character today. I think this is going to surprise no one. This will surprise. I think this would be if anybody put out a list of the worst characters you got to get for Galactic Legend farming. I think Mob Enforcer would be on the list. You know, apparently her thermal detonators have the highest base damage in the game. Hallelujah, because there ain't nothing else here. And her arm is very weird. Yes, her arm does weird things. You know, back here it looks normal. Like this arm is the arm bend is kind of normal, and it's getting a little weirder as it goes. Like there's some stuff missing, and here it just gets really weird. Her arm bend, like there's a whole little there's tendons missing in here that should be there to really help that arm bend. I don't know how this arm is bending without the tendons. I'm not a medical professional. Don't take my advice on gambling or medical professional type stuff. If you have a medical emergency and you're in America, please dial 911. In other countries, dial the number it's required for you there. If you have a medical emergency, contact the emergency professionals. But there are tendons missing here. There are things going on with her arm. I'm not really sure what, and this isn't helping. It looks 2D, right? Anyway, Mob Enforcer, useless character with a weird arm bend. Absolutely, she is a big flaming pile of poo. I like her face model is a lot better than it used to be. It was kind of bland and boring before, but it's really weird to me that of all of the face models they're going to improve in game, or the models they improved in the game, why did they choose excuse me, why was Mob Enforcer chosen as a character? You know, they've improved Sparring Boy Luke and Old Ben and Qui-Gon Jinn and Mace Windu. They've kind of replaced them with, you know, the artsy, the comic book version of the actual, you know, actor's face that played them. I don't know why Mob Enforcer was on the list of characters to improve their visage when we still have lots of characters out there like, how about OG Padme that looks the same, or you know, a lot of characters out there they didn't improve, but they put Mob Enforcer up there. They improved that face. She does not look like a cartoon anymore. I don't know, man. She's no good. And there you go. Here's my 10 characters. Man, there's a lot of other characters in here. We might have another list of this down the road, but there's a lot more characters in here that are really a lot useless. And maybe we'll look at the other Galactic Legend farms to find some of those characters. Let me know what you think. If I missed anybody, I'd love to hear about it in comments. I hope you all have a great day. And thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you soon. And always remember, Nooch too good.